In the quiet chambers of the mind, a man shapes his character not by what he shares, but often by what he withholds. The ancient Stoics understood that wisdom is as much about restraint as it is about action. In a world brimming with noise and revelation, the art of silence, of keeping certain matters shielded from others, becomes a sign of strength, dignity, and self-mastery. When it comes to relationships, especially between a man and a woman, there are truths that serve both honor and harmony best when held close to the chest. Let us contemplate 8 things a man ought to conceal, not from a place of deceit, but from a foundation of tranquility, respect, and self-possession. First, a man must hide the full extent of his fears. Fear is a natural companion. It walks with every mortal. To acknowledge fear is not weakness, but to parade one's anxieties before others, especially a woman whose trust and confidence you wish to inspire, is to undermine your own strength. The Stoics teach us to confront our fears internally, to understand them, to reason with them. In doing so, a man maintains his composure and steadiness. Let your actions show courage, even when your heart trembles. For a woman seeks not a man devoid of fear, but one who stands unwavering despite it. Second, a man must guard the depth of his insecurities. We all carry within us a sense of inadequacy at times, a whisper that questions our worth, our competence, our appeal. Yet, to give voice to every insecurity is to invite unnecessary doubt and instability into the relationship. The Stoic man recognizes his imperfections, strives to improve, but does not lean on others to validate his self-worth. In silence, he works, polishes his virtues, and lets his deeds speak louder than his doubts. Third, a man should keep silent about the details of his private ambitions and struggles, at least until they are ripe. Dreams, goals, and the arduous path to reach them are often best nurtured in solitude. Idle talk of future conquests can dilute motivation and expose vulnerabilities to the winds of judgment and skepticism. The Stoic man acts with purpose and lets the results, when they arrive, speak for themselves. Let your accomplishments be revealed in due time. Until then, protect them from the premature gaze of others. Fourth, a man must not disclose every weakness that afflicts his body or mind. To a Stoic, resilience is cultivated through adversity, and much of this battle is fought alone. While it is wise to seek help when truly needed, it is equally wise to bear what one can in silence. Complaints about physical shortcomings, maladies, or the slings and arrows of fortune sap the spirit and invite pity, not respect. Endure with quiet fortitude, for strength is as much about the burdens we carry unseen as those we display. Fifth, a man should refrain from exposing the full measure of his desires, especially those that are fleeting or base. The Stoics warn against being ruled by passion, eros and hunger, envy and greed. These are the tempests of the soul. To confess every impulse is to become a slave to them and to trouble another's peace with your own storms. Govern your desires, speak of them with restraint and dignity, and choose carefully which ones are worthy of being shared. Sixth, a man must hide the extent of his past, his failures, his regrets, and the ghosts that haunt him. We are all shaped by what came before, but to dwell on past wounds or parade old scars is to live in bondage to them. The Stoic teaches us to accept the past, to learn from it, and then to let it drift away like leaves on a current. Share only what is necessary, what builds trust, but keep the rest as silent tutors that shape your present character. In this way, you offer your companion not a relic of sorrow, but a man reborn in wisdom. Seventh, a man ought to conceal the judgments he forms about others, especially those that are harsh or unkind. The Stoic seeks to cultivate equanimity and to see the world with clarity, not prejudice. To share every critical thought is to poison the well of a relationship and burden another's mind with negativity. Practice discretion. Judge with care, forgive with ease, and if you must speak, let your words be gentle and constructive. Eighth, a man must keep the full measure of his independence. Love and companionship are noble pursuits, but a man's soul must remain his own. The Stoic man loves without losing himself. He gives freely, but does not surrender his autonomy. To share every moment of solitude, every private longing for freedom, is to risk misunderstanding and resentment. Maintain a sanctuary within, a garden only you may tend. Let your partner know you love her not from need, but from choice, a choice renewed each day by your own volition. These 8 forms of silence do not arise from deception or coldness, but from a place of strength and serenity. They are boundaries, drawn not to keep love out, but to keep the self whole and sovereign. In relationships, it is tempting to believe that total openness is the path to intimacy. Yet, the Stoic knows that mystery is not an enemy of love, but its companion. The unspoken, the reserved, the quietly endured. These are the fertile soils in which trust and admiration take root. To hide one's fears is to honor courage. To veil one's insecurities is to respect the dignity of self-improvement. To protect one's ambitions is to ensure their growth. To bear one's weaknesses with silence is to cultivate resilience. To moderate the expression of desire is to master oneself. To limit the sharing of past regrets is to live in the present. To restrain harsh judgments is to foster harmony. And to guard one's independence is to love from a position of fullness, not emptiness. The Stoics remind us that true mastery over oneself cannot be granted by another, nor can it be demanded. It is earned, quietly, in the crucible of daily living. Each day brings opportunities to practice virtue, courage, temperance, wisdom, and justice. In the realm of love, these virtues take tangible form. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the resolve to act rightly despite it. Temperance is not the denial of desire, but the discipline to govern it. Wisdom is not knowing all, but knowing what to say and what to withhold. Justice is not only fairness toward others, but fairness toward oneself. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire yet found time to write quietly to himself about his fears, his doubts, and his hopes. He understood that the burdens of leadership and love alike required him to be a fortress unto himself. He did not broadcast every uncertainty, nor did he seek consolation in every moment of weakness. Instead, he looked inward, finding strength in self-reflection and restraint. Seneca, too, counseled his students to be wary of revealing all. To be everywhere is to be nowhere, he warned, encouraging focus and the preservation of the self. In relationships, this means being present, attentive, and loving, but not dissipating one's essence in a rush to be fully known. There is beauty in the gradual unfolding of trust, in the slow revelation of one's inner world. Epictetus, born a slave and rising to be a philosopher, taught that some things are within our control and others are not. The secrets we choose to keep are ours. They are among the few things we truly own. By guarding them wisely, we exercise our freedom and our responsibility. A man's silence is not emptiness, but a wellspring of potential. It is the space in which he crafts himself, undisturbed by the winds of others' opinions or the tides of fleeting emotion. The world may clamor for confession, for raw and immediate access to every thought and feeling, but the Stoic resists this temptation. He knows that what is most sacred is most easily profaned by reckless exposure. This is not to say that a man should be a closed book, unreadable and cold. Love thrives on sharing, on vulnerability, on the mutual exchange of hearts and minds. Yet, sharing is most powerful when it is a gift, not a compulsion. When a man chooses carefully what to reveal and what to keep, he dignifies both himself and his companion. He invites respect, and in turn, he gives it. In the end, the measure of a man is not found in how much he is known, but in how well he knows himself. The Stoic seeks to be at peace in solitude, content in his own company, and then to bring that peace as an offering to another. He is a harbor, sturdy against the storms of fate, offering shelter without surrendering his foundations. Let us, then, return to the 8 things a man must hide. These are not walls, but boundaries, not weapons, but shields. They protect values that are easily lost in the rush of modern life: courage, resilience, temperance, wisdom, independence. In practicing this form of Stoic silence, a man does not diminish love. He ennobles it. He gives it the space to breathe, to grow, to become more than mere dependency or confession. And so, when you walk the path of love, do so with eyes open and heart steady. Share what is worthy, withhold what is precious, and let your silence be a testament not to distance, but to depth. In this way, you honor both yourself and the woman you choose to walk beside. For in the end, the strongest bond is not forged by bearing every secret, but by walking together, each carrying within a quiet strength, a fortress of the soul built stone by stone in the silence of self-mastery.